John.
I'm here.
All right, I guess the highlight for both of us from this Microsoft showcase
Halo
was
4.
Halo 4.
Yeah.
Now, I actually like to start, before we get into exactly what we saw, well, actually get into what I saw first when I walked into the presentation room. It takes a very, very big game for a single image to get me so excited. And I don't know whether you saw this, but when you came in, left-hand side, there's a single static image, and it shows you the planet. Almost like it carries on from like the Halo Reach image, where it's planet side, and there's a plume of light, and there's, I would assume basically the ship going in, and just the 3 words, "Wake up, John." And I just looked at that, and I just got that buzz, that energy. And I have to say, what was shown did not disappoint. How did you feel about Halo 4?
You know, I'm really excited about the game, obviously, and I wasn't really expecting that much, and we didn't really get to see all that much either. A bunch of multiplayer details. We got to see the first gameplay of the multiplayer. No hands-on, but yeah, it looks great. Obviously, it's Halo.
Yeah. There was it was basically two video segments they showed. First one was a making of doc that didn't show anything at all unless you're going to sit there on the keyboard and pause every single second. Which some people are going to do. Look for that feature turning up in Game Reactor in a few weeks. But when that came up, that actually said waypoint guide or something like that. So I imagine it will actually appear on your 360 dashboard.
Yeah, they've been doing like video documentaries for a long time, so that's probably going to be released during the GDC.
Well, what we saw of John, redesigned armor. So they're trying to make it a bit more realistic now. Now, I don't want to say Batman Begins, because they emphasize it's not a reboot, but you looked at it and you can see they've actually worked out how this armor works, how the material, how the fabric underneath the armor looks, and how it feels.
He makes sense, and also I think he looks more than more like a superhero, an action hero than he has before. He doesn't look like anonymous anymore.
Yeah.
He looks iconic, and they really want to emphasize like how it is to be a Spartan. Powerful. You could see like a little clip in that documentary where he like tore open a door or something, and just how fast he is, how agile he is. They really want to put a focus on that, and
it's going to be interesting to see how that affects the gameplay. Because obviously enough, everyone's used to the Halo control now and how your Spartans feel, especially that exaggerated jump you have. But the way they're saying about this, it's a 900-point killing machine.
Yeah.
I'll be very interested whether that's one of the things to tweak, because they've said all the way through the presentation about, and not in so much that they're not disrespecting what Bungie have done before, but they want to make their own mark on it. They want to explore this further, and they talked about story. Whilst we only know the broad strokes of it, the fact is it's a Forerunner facility. There's a new threat that John's not come across before, so he's going to have to learn as he goes.
Yeah, compared to the Covenant, which he knew already in the original trilogy, he's going to have to like go on a journey and find out more about this threat. And they've been building upon this for a very long time with the Forerunner book saga. And like comics and all that. So there's a huge expanded universe that they've been building up for this new trilogy, and probably we're going to see some kind of like precursor thing that's been hinted in previous books in this new game.
Because I thought that was interesting. They actually said that most of the character development of John has been, Master Chief has been, in comics and books, not in the game, and that's what they want to do this time around. They want to make this character development. They want to push the boundaries of what he does, and they sort of mentioned almost like he'll have to make hard choices, he'll have to make hard decisions, and live with those consequences.
Yeah.
And I don't imagine that's a case of, should I use a plasma grenade or should I use a frag grenade? God damn, how am I going to get through this? It's more a case of there will probably be key moments. I don't want to say Mass Effect, but almost like, right, maybe do I kill someone? Do I not? What sacrifice am I going to have to make to? And that to me is really intriguing. I think there's a worry of by showing the person behind the mask, they're going to weaken the character, but I think it's going to strengthen it. I think it's going to.
I wonder if they're going to take off the helmet this time. Probably in Halo 6.
Yeah, Halo 6, Halo 7 won, and the Xbox 1,208. Yeah, we'll get there. But multiplayer. Let's talk about multiplayer because they did show that.
They showed like they have a narrative now for the multiplayer.
I love that.
They have a reason for the blue
red
Spartans fighting the red Spartans, and it's probably not a red versus blue series. Anyway, you're playing as Spartan Force, and we got to see 2 levels. This
Warhouse and Wraparound.
Yeah, and Warhouse was like this human orbital installation where there was this huge mech in the middle, and I'm really hoping that will appear in the campaign, hopefully.
Though they did, I thought it was really nice, they said that all the multiplayer content is completely new, so they're not lifting it from the campaign and sticking it in.
Which was something I didn't like in Reach.
Yeah, so every level is going to be tested and changed and alternated, so it makes a perfect sense for multiplayer. And then the the Wraparound. Yeah. Wraparound I thought was gorgeous looking.
One of the better looking maps in Halo series.
Even though oddly enough, there's no real detail to it.
Right.
Because it's basically beside a gas giant, so basically it's just sunlight streaming down on the level, and all the corridors and the walls are all just like just a very nice silvery sort of tone to it.
It's just white everywhere.
But it's sort of blinding. Like I'm going to be really interested to see what, with shadows and such, whether they're going to play with that as well.
Probably.
Did you see the again? This is part of in the documentary. Did you see that facial animation model? Did you see that? It showed you a human's face, and that just looked unbelievable.
Yep.
What you're so used to the Halo engine doing all right with human faces.
They're really bad in normally, but they're still using the Reach engine, and you can tell it's the Reach engine, but it looks it flows better. I think it looks faster, and obviously the humans look better as well. So yeah, like. You can tell it's the same engine, but they've done a lot with it.
And talking about the sort of expansion as well, they're talking about redoing the HUD elements. Now, from what we saw from the multiplayer clips, I sort of sketched them down as they're going along, and they look very similar to what's gone before. Health bar looks a lot thicker now on the top of the screen. You've still got gun and ammo count sort of on the top right-hand side. Red versus blue scores bottom right.
It
maps
looks more
bottom
flashy
left.
than it has before. And one thing you probably noticed as well is that when you got a headshot, it like really this huge text like headshots and multi-kill. Probably that could be distracting to some, but yeah, that's I guess they're going more for the MLG kind of style where you can see like everything what's happening, like in the Call of Duty, for example. You really get this huge text.
When you've made
done
that
this,
shot, Not in a post-game menu of went, oh, by the way, you killed like 5 people headshots. Oh, that's great. And they also talked about abilities. To state that they teased information and to say that they hardly let anything loose about this game, I think would be an understatement.
Right.
But they did mention the abilities and said they're going to evolve them, they're going to change them to make sense for Halo 4.
Yeah.
And I can imagine what they'll probably do is they'll probably strip away armor lock. They'll probably.
I really liked armor lock, but a lot of people hate it.
One person in the world.
Yeah. There was one other thing they said. It was like a new way to play with your friends, unlike anything you've ever seen before, and that was all I was going to say about that.
And in everyone's mind, we went Call of Duty Elite. To be fair, if Halo adopted the Elite sort of style experience, I don't think that would be a bad thing at all. I wouldn't see anything wrong with that.
Because, I mean, Bungie.net has had basically every single feature that's on Elite for free ever since Halo 3, basically. So they'll probably add that to, on the 360. It's basically already there in Waypoint, but it doesn't cost.
Yeah.
But I think they actually talked about some kind of gameplay mode. You know, there's Forge, there's Theater, there's Firefight, Co-op, and all that. I think they're adding something new to that, a new game mode.
We're thinking that the big reveal is going to be at E3, and until then, we're going to have to wait it out. That's as much as we know so far. Tune in to Game Reactor for our beautifully wonderful, scintillating write-up on Halo 4.
See you later.
Stay tuned.